Everyone, welcome back to the Performance Matters podcast. I'm your host, Matrix, and today I'm very fortunate to be joined by our guest, Elijah Lufile from the Niagara River Lions basketball team. So before we kind of dive into the conversation, remember, folks, there are two types of people in this world. There are subscribers and there's non-subscribers. All right? It's kind of like you have a favorite child, right? No one really says it, but you do. And subscribers and people that follow us are going to be the favorite child. Yep. So the nice part is you might not be able to change who came out first, but you can be a cool kid and be a subscriber and join the community. So you might as well follow, subscribe to Spotify, Apple, and YouTube to keep up to date with the Performance Matters podcast. Not a terrible intro. And of course, this episode is brought to you by Iron Performance Center, Niagara's premier strength and conditioning facility located right here, the northeast end of St. Catharines, and they can be found at www.ironperformance.ca. So naturally, might as well train with the best. So big shout out. Absolutely. Okay, diving headfirst into it, Elijah, I just want to go, we've been working together for a few years now. Back-to-back championships. Now, granted, you got 3 rings, 3 rings back-to-back, and, we're going for the three-peat. But people that, might not know you or know your story yet, I guess the question I want to start with is, when did basketball go from something you played to this could be like a career?
Yeah, so I'm the youngest of 5 siblings. My oldest brother, Shadrach, he's also been in the CBL, bouncing here and there, played Division I. We all followed him, right? And, I was the youngest, and because he was really known in the GTA area, doing his thing, and a lot of people knew him, I'm like, man, I kind of want to know what that feels like, right? So I was an extreme late bloomer as far as physique, height wise. And the freshman year of high school, I was like 5'6", 5'7". And by the time he got to 9th grade, 10th grade, he was already like 6'4" and stuff like that. And basketball, I think I had my first basketball game, I think in the 6th grade. And I remember like playing the game and not passing the ball at all. I think I finished the game with like 40 points. My family supported me, and I kind of liked the feeling, and I kind of liked the competitiveness. Like, I didn't pass the ball at all, that game. I did not pass the ball because I was just more so from a mentality of like, man, I'm gonna win this game, and it's gonna be because of me, right? And that's essentially what I kind of held on to. But as I started to grow and understand the game a little bit, I started to understand that, be great at what you're good at. Right? My role now in the River Lions, what it's always been for a while, is to rebound, defend, finish, right? And just doing the nitty gritty stuff that nobody else wants to do, right? And I think it became really serious for me. I say at the age of 17, because that's when I I think I started to get a lot of attention from, teams, schools in the US, right? I'm like, man, I could really do something with this. I didn't think it would be possible because it was so late. Yeah. Everybody that I knew was getting attention in the 9th grade. Mine was, as a matter of fact, I did a 5th year in high school. I had to do that. So I was like, I'm not getting anything in the 12th grade. So like, hey, I'll do another year. And finally, I was getting some attention from junior colleges. And then, when I stepped into that opportunity, I think, it took its own course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That seems kind of late for most athletes. They kind of figured it out in 17, most, I think from my recollection, I think schools are allowed to start talking to you end of grade 10, beginning of grade 11, you're like 15, 16-ish.
Yeah.
So I guess here 17, so it's like, okay, it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then walk me through the collegiate side of things now. So you get your opportunity at, what was the university you ended up at?
I ended up at Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Christian private school. Out there. And before that, I went to 2 different junior colleges. One was in Lamar Community College in Denver, Colorado. The next one was Midland in Texas. So I was kind of bouncing around. I didn't play at Lamar, but I redshirted because I came the second half of the season. Midland, we didn't do too well record-wise, but my numbers were really great, which caught the attention of some of these Division I schools. And Oral Roberts was the perfect fit, because just simply, also there was some family familiarity. My older cousin, his name is Moses Ihambe. He went to Oral Roberts University years back in 2005 to 2009, played in the NBA G League overseas. And the past 2 years, he was the player development coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he was working with Anthony Edwards. So a little bit of family basketball history
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
ties, great ties. And he's actually back in Oklahoma over there, helping some kids out. So that it was Oral Roberts University, and it was just, it fit perfect for me, not only because of the organization and the coaching staff, but it was everything because like they wanted me, right? The assistant coach flew down, came and saw me. We did a workout, and then the head coach came down the next day.
Really?
They spoke to my family, spoke to my brothers, he spoke to my father,
Huh.
and they said, "Listen, we want to come bring you guys on a visit." A week after, they flew my dad from Toronto, flew me from Texas, so everything was moving pretty fast. Versus the other schools, they were kind of waiting a little bit, see what this other big says, and
Yeah.
if I make this decision, it was kind of. But Oral Roberts knew who they wanted, and it was a no brainer for me.
Yeah. So it was like that feeling of, okay, they really
Yes.
want me. They can see
Yes.
value in you. I always find that's like an interesting thing because
Yeah.
we talk to a lot of kids that are
Yeah.
kind of on that same journey. I get it because universities have their own agendas, which they should. Like
Yeah.
we're trying to put the best guys out there,
Mhm.
recruit the best talent in their mind. I'm always curious, like what do coaches like? Because we'll never really know, what they see in us
Mhm.
type thing, right? So how do you kind of handle that? Like you felt wanted, and that was the right decision. Like what does like wanted look like? Like what was like kind of like the thing? Like man, I feel valued by these guys, and maybe not so much by these guys over here.
I think it's how they were pretty intentional about what they were telling me. Like they were telling me up front, listen, we're not looking for you to pick and pop and spray a bunch of threes. There were pieces missing from what they needed. The
Mhm.
year before, they struggled in the conference tournament, and they were missing rebounders, defenders, perimeter defenders, guys who can switch the 1 through 4. And I was somebody who had the ability to do that at my size. I could move pretty quick for my size and my height. So when they started to put the pieces together, they brought me in, and they also brought a freshman in, Max Asmus, who literally led the whole entire nation the year after in scoring, right? So, putting pieces together year by year was what made us successful. I think in 2020 and 2021, we made it to the Sweet 16,
Dope.
right? And Oral Roberts had not made it to the NCAA tournament since 2009, right?
Damn.
So when they started to
It's
formulate
been a
that,
while.
yeah, it was a while. So we had a whole little drought. And we in that 2021, we knocked off Ohio State and Florida, and we lost by Arkansas by 2.
Shit.
And so like to go back for me, it was, we're missing something, right?
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I was in college great at what I was good at. I became great at rebounding, getting double doubles, offensive rebounds. I think I was averaging around 4 offensive rebounds a game. So it was like we needed that, right? That gives another extra possession for guys, and I was the only one who was bringing that, right?
Yeah.
So and I could see that they were trusting me, right? And they were really hard on me, but I knew there was a reason. Like if coaches are not hard on you, they don't really see much value in you. They're just gonna let you, all right, he's just gonna pass by this year and just whatever. But they were on me. And
Yeah.
another part was the education side. I wasn't doing too well when I came in, simply because I just honestly, I was lazy. I was tired. I didn't know how to adjust to the busy schedule of a Division I player with
Yeah.
all the workouts and academics. I had a coach, Russell Springman. He coached Kevin Durant at Texas years back. He's now at University of Miami. He got to a point and said, "Listen, I'm going to walk you to class if it takes for you to graduate." He walked me to class for a good like 3 weeks. I hated it.
Get
Every
out.
morning,
That's
I hated it.
crazy.
I would meet him at the door, and I'd wake up and I got bags under my eyes, and he's just sitting there. And I'm like, and I still got, it's like, I got to see him at practice. I got to see him in the morning. I got sick of it, but
I'm tired of this dude now.
yeah, kudos to him to really, really investing in me and believing in
Yeah.
me and helping me really, get my degree.
Man.
Yeah.
That's a crazy story on that one though. Like the guy
Yeah.
literally got him. Was like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yes,
walk
he
your ass to
did.
class.
Exactly. He didn't have to do it, but he did.
Man.
Yeah.
That's
It's a big campus too.
yeah. I bet this guy was like, all
Exactly.
right, fine, I'll do it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
it's crazy how the conversation. And you're right. Like if they're on your ass, I think this is something that a lot of younger athletes kind of have to understand too.
Mhm.
Because I remember when I was competing, and even now,
Yeah.
like hearing the stories, like if coach is on your ass, you don't have to like the tone,
Yeah.
but you can hear the message. I
Exactly.
think a lot of guys and girls like get stuck in the
Yeah.
tone, like they
Mhm.
don't like how I'm like, yeah, but it could be worse. You don't want to be the guy that's not getting talked to at all.
Exactly.
That guy's on the chopping block. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like if they're talking to you and yelling at you, they're putting some energy into you versus like
Yeah.
they could not give you the time of day. You're sweating at that point.
I got a pretty funny story to piggyback off that. It was I remember so I had to get a surgery done. I have a defibrillator in my left side. I had to get it done because I got diagnosed with cardiomyopathy.
Mm.
Obviously, with new technology, they're able to create something that players can play with, right? To continue to play, put inside of them. And I remember they said, don't do anything for 12 weeks. I gained a whole bunch of weight. And my coach told me, he's like, listen, you went through a lot this year. You lost your mother. You went through this. We don't know if we're going to play the same amount of minutes. This was my senior year. I
Mm.
proved them wrong by the time of early January. I got my starting position back.
Mm.
Now, in the midst of that, every time we would get in, he's like, all right, Eli, go in. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. If you don't do your job, you're not coming to the game. So it was like, there was like a fire lit under my butt because I'm like, there was that pressure.
Mm.
And I'm one person who can play under pressure. Every single time he would do that, I would come out successful. I played well. My minutes were looking really good, and I was helping the team like be
Yeah.
successful. And it was that I'm giving you 30 seconds. 30 seconds turned into 2 minutes, and at 2 minutes turned into 8 minutes. 8 minutes turned into starting position, right? And every
Mhm.
time he's like, and it was like coming like a psychological thing, like me coming, I can't mess up, coaches. I don't know if I'm gonna get this opportunity again. And that was just a reminder every single game, just having that pressure on me. And, it just took its course.
How do you navigate that? Like, that's a lot of setbacks
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that? Like, anyone that has even like a surgery or a major injury or like tragic loss, like what kickstarts that drive? Like, how do you fucking just get up and do the damn thing?
2021 was the worst entire year of my life. Lost my mother to cancer. She was diagnosed in 2017. They gave her 2 years, but she was fortunate enough to live a little bit more. And I remember, them telling me, "Listen, we can't continue. You can't continue your collegiate career until you get the surgery." I was afraid. I was skeptical. I'm like, I've never had a surgery before. I don't want to do it. But I spoke to a lot of different NBA players who had it. It wasn't out there.
Mhm.
A similar situation that happened to me happened to Keontae Johnson, who went to Kansas State. He was like bouncing out in the league with the Oklahoma City Thunders. I kind of got comfortable. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should do it. And she passed May 14th, 2021. I had my surgery July 6th, 2021.
Mm.
And at first, it's mentally, I was out of it. I was honestly, to be upfront, I was a bit suicidal. I wanted to end it all. I literally tried to kill myself. I tried to take pills. I tried to end myself. Everybody in my family was grieving a lot differently.
Yeah.
I remember I said, you know what, I'm going to leave home and go somewhere else because being in an environment where everyone was mourning was a lot for me. And I was just going through every stage in area in my life was just down. Basketball, education, was in a really terrible relationship, and all these things were just weighing me down.
It's a lot.
It was a lot of stress. It was a lot of all these that was actually affecting my health.
Yeah.
And then I remember I called my dad on the phone. I'm like, Dad, I'm about to quit. Like, I'm about to quit playing basketball. I'm done. He's like, listen, I understand. He's like, you need to pray on it and then wake up in the morning, sleep on it, wake up in the morning. And he started to give me the pros and cons. He's like, listen, if you make this decision, this is what could happen. If you make this decision, this is what could happen, right?
Mm.
You have an education to complete. You have this is what can happen. I know it's hard. And I started to thinking of all that stuff. And I remember I was speaking to my assistant coach. I told him too. I'm like, man, and he told me the same thing. He's like, look how much value you can bring to your life if you do complete your do graduate. You do finish out this year and all these other things. So I started to really actually think, right?
Mm.
And I think that whole entire time when I was going through that stuff, I wasn't thinking. I was just going through the motion.
Yeah.
But they put things into real perspective, and I sat down and I started to think, and I just went through it. So it really, the reason why I continued, it was just like I wanted more out of myself.
Mm.
It wasn't just about okay, my mom, she wanted her children to be successful, of course, but I'm like, I didn't come here just to give up and just be,
Mm.
I just give up in the middle of it when I've completed so much. I wanted more out of myself, and then hopefully one day, to extend her legacy and just complete that. So it was just one of those. It was
Yeah.
one of those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to navigate.
Yes.
What I mean? That's a
Yeah.
lot to navigate. I guess. I mean, shit, man. I fucking lost my dad when I was
Yeah.
like 23 in like an accident.
Yeah.
And I
We're the
remember,
same age. I was 23 when I lost her. Yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah. It's weird.
I
Yeah.
remember like that was it was a tragedy. Like it was died in an accident.
Yeah.
You know, he went missing, and then we're okay. Like
Yeah.
usually shows up at
Yeah.
things. Next, you get a call the next morning, and then you turn on the news, and there's a body being
That's insane.
dragged out
Yes.
on TV. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I remember same thing. Like I ironically, I just had shoulder surgery too. Like I had my labrum
That's
repaired
crazy.
up, like fixed up. So it was like 2 months or 3 months
We
after.
got a lot in common.
Yeah, yeah, fuck, I know. Like,
Yeah, right, yeah.
oh, it was a good thing. Right?
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Some dark shit. But I
Yeah.
remember I just had shoulder surgery, and then he passed, and I was fucked up too. Everyone, you're right. Like I get what you're saying, because I felt the same way. There's just so much grief, and I
Yeah.
didn't really know how to process it. I mean, like you're 23 is young.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out your own shit.
Yeah.
And I had to be in charge of his stuff, because like he
Yes.
wasn't with my mother, so I
Yeah.
was the oldest son, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no, so
yeah.
I had to figure out all these things, and I have no business figuring out this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just remember, like, yeah, now you're in the middle of family stuff, like pulling you all these different directions, and you're just but be honest, you're 23, like you're a young man,
Yeah,
like maybe like
super
you're
young.
just out of the kid phase essentially.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like so much grief, like you don't really know, like you just felt like your purpose was lost, like you don't
Yeah.
really know if it matters anymore.
Mhm.
And I think for me, it was just try to find some small win in that day. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I got out of bed today.
Yeah.
Good start. All
Yeah.
right. Hey, I ate something today.
Yeah.
Step number 2. Fantastic. And eventually, looking back, and I think doing things now, I think it literally was just like, don't try. I think for me, it was like everyone grieves in their own way. I think I was so trying to keep myself busy just managing everything,
Yes, yeah.
versus like, I think it was more internalized. It was like trying to suppress
Yes,
things. And then
yeah.
eventually these things just
Came
burst.
out. Yeah,
They
burst
started
out.
coming out in like weird times, like
Yeah.
random shit.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean? You're just
yeah.
kind of sitting there, all of a sudden you're just overwhelmed with grief
Yeah,
again.
yes,
You're like,
yes.
where'd the
Yeah.
fuck this come from? You could be driving, and all of a sudden you're just like in tears, crying. You're like, what the hell happened?
Yes, 100%.
Then I realized, you know what? Instead of like trying to fight this shit, just ride the wave. And eventually the waves were just smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then create new memories. You reflect positively on a lot of things. But I think for me, it was just ride the fucking waves and just let them. If you feel something, let it feel.
Yeah.
Like let yourself feel something. It's going to happen randomly, but then you might look fondly at the memory, and then it's no longer a tragic memory. It's like there's a lot of good things that happened. It was just a really bad situation, and you navigate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
a lot of the times when I was going through that, so even during my workouts, like I'm training hard, like I'm in the gym in the weight room. Like you said, feel what you feel. I would start crying during my workouts, but I wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
So like say if I'm squatting or just, do some curls, I'm tearing up. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna feel what I'm feeling, but I'm keep going. I would do my workouts at the basketball court by myself, and I'm crying. Like I'm boo-hooing, but I'm still doing my hardcore workouts. And I felt so much of a relief, right? And I put all that energy into that, which transitioned into the game. And, I've become who I am today because of that, right? And I consider those things like, compared to the adversity that we go through, like on the court, doesn't compare to what we go through in our regular life. I think that's really what prepared me for being in my role, right? I think part of the success that I brought to Niagara, it kind of has to do what I went through in my personal life. Like last year was one of the worst I've ever felt. I injury wise, I came in, I did a PRP shot. My knee was extremely. I mean, we did those exercises. You seen my mobility was terrible. I couldn't bend my knee, but I knew that I had to offer up, service to Niagara. So I had to be serviceable. So, and I tried my best. I came in trying to do as much as I could. And, I just gave it my all. We were able to be successful in that. Those free throws at the end against Scarborough was really big. And that's an extension of the work that I put in through the adversity I've been through, right? Because I know that when you're able to go through adversity, you'll be surprised at the outcome.
Yeah.
Right? So
no, I think we were talking, me and Miles have this conversation a few weeks ago, and we were talking about like, why do we chase like this, high elite thing that a fraction of the fraction of a fraction of people ever get to achieve? Because like, let's say you could wave a magic wand tomorrow and say, hey, you're the national champion, you're Olympic champion, gold medal, everyone believes in the world. We're not satisfied with that. It's like a hollow thing. Well, why is it hollow? It's because it's not really the thing I think that we're chasing. That's just a byproduct. It's you want to see from point A to point B. You have this little highlight reel in your head of how you think this is going to go. You envision yourself overcoming a lot of things.
Yes.
You don't know what that feels like yet.
Yeah.
You envision it being a hard thing. And you see this thing at the end as a reward for overcoming this hard thing. But I think the fundamental root is you see yourself becoming a different person from point A to point B, because being who you are now, you can't win this.
Mm-hmm.
You have to change and adapt to become this thing that less than 1% of things you get to get. And that is your character evolving to achieve an outcome that very few ever get to achieve. But if someone waved a magic wand and the whole world believed that you were the best in the world, but deep down, you know, you didn't earn that.
Yeah.
So it's like you could have the thing like magic wand, you have the gold medal, you are the best in the world believes you, but you don't believe you. Well, why? It's because you didn't change your character to get it. There's no overcoming anything. So I think at the fundamental behavioral level, it's very interesting that like, it's not the thing itself, it's who you see yourself becoming to get it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's crazy when you start.
No,
fucking,
it is crazy.
It's like that's a Joe Rogan blunt hit.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. Like I literally see, and to kind of put that in perspective also, because of a man of faith, there's a scripture in the Bible that says that God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So there is a lot of good that comes after, walking in a righteous way, right? Versus someone who walks in a carnal way. So for me, I try to put the way I am is because of like who God has created me to be, right? And I've transitioned a lot in my life. I used to do this. I used to do this. But like you were telling us, we had the meeting with you. I think you had like the 4 section where it comes like the engine and stuff like that. All these other things when it comes to, your body, kind of build it from the ground up. Right. You guys always like to tell me, because, we're not always low to the ground. We're always jumping, stuff like that. A lot of us have bad knees, but kind of started
among other things.
Yeah. So I started to see from a physical standpoint, the transition it's something that it's night and day from this year and last year, because I couldn't do that last year. I see myself doing the duck walks and the things where I'm low to the ground. I'm able to do that because there was something in between where it's like, man, I can't be. I've won championships. I'm getting a little bit older. I need to be able to maintain this, right? So I kind of like shifted how I kind of look at things a little bit. Like I just wanted more out of myself. So something changed a little bit, because I knew that I'm not the same how I was when I was 19, 20 years old. I don't have the same, I can't get up and pop up and just do a windmill like I could, like when I was 19. I can't do that no more. There's a lot that goes into this, and, making sure that I'm prepared, to be ready, for the work or for a game and stuff like that. So there's a whole build up for me. I never used to be like that. It was a whole transition period that happened. And now I'm like, I've taken on all that stuff.
Whatever just comes with age, eh?
Yeah,
young dudes don't listen too much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, they don't.
Like,
We're stubborn.
I always used to never believe, I guess being young at one point too, I always remember looking like, what are you guys talking about, man? You just wake up, you run through a wall, you're fine the next day, you're okay, just keep running through walls. You realize like, when did you stop being able to just wake up and run through a wall? Did you ever stop? Or is this different? Right? You know what I mean? Like it's
slightly different.
It's a little different. So then, okay, then I think you try to tell these young guys like, hey, as things progress, like you can still be pro. Like there's guys that are doing this shit in their 40s. It's very possible.
It is,
but you just do it a little differently.
Yeah.
You have to think, train, and act differently.
Yes.
I remember one example, again, this is like looking at Olympic wrestling, but there's these 2 twin brothers that at one point in their career, like the best guys in the world. And the brother got beat out at the Olympic trials in his late 20s. His twin brother won the Olympic gold that year in the 90s. But anyway, all of a sudden he's in his like probably mid 30s at the time. And all of a sudden they see him go back in the room. This was like after a year or 2-year hiatus, like just kind of like going on that journey. Like, he was in the depths of just, I failed. I didn't get to make the Olympic team, blah, blah, blah. A year or so, just kind of doing his thing. And he shows him in the mat room the one day. And the guy's like, oh, you're competing again, aren't you? He's like, and we'll see. He's like, okay. And all of a sudden he's like, it's not that you can't. It's like, you just have to train differently. And this guy in his 30s went on to win the Olympic bronze.
Wow.
So you're like, it is possible. You're competing against younger guys, everything else, but you just do things a little differently. You adapt a little differently. I think it just comes with, it's like you have the guy that has a hammer is banging. It's like as you get older, you just know where to hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes you less strikes to the same amount of work. You're just like, this is just adapting a little differently.
Yeah.
And I hope young guys can maybe learn that a little bit earlier on and say, hey, you don't have to be Superman right now. It's like, it's playing the long game.
Yeah. Playing the long game.
Playing the long
that's really
game,
what
man.
it is.
Like,
playing the long game.
You make the pro. It's like, now the job is to stay here.
Exactly.
Be as invaluable as possible.
Yeah.
So you can stay here and keep doing the damn thing as long as physically possible, or until you decide otherwise.
Welcome to Armed Performance Center, Niagara's home for real personal and performance training. We're a community obsessed with building durable, explosive, game-ready humans. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just training that works. From athletes chasing scholarships, to pros chasing championships, to regular people who just want to feel strong, move well, and stay built for real life. If you're willing to work, you're our people. Our system is simple: smart programming, elite coaching, and a culture that pushes you to levels you didn't know you had. With modern technology and principles-based programming, we track your progress, teach you movement skills, and give you every tool you need to perform when it matters most in whatever arena you call home. Iron Performance Center, because performance matters.
So it's funny because a lot of people, so they'll tell you in the NBA, when you talk about the NBA, they say it's an average of usually people last 4 years because that's kind of how long the rookie contract is. And after that, it's like, okay, depending on what you did in that 4 years, you might be out the league.
Yeah, Wild
right?
West.
Exactly. And people don't understand when it comes to overseas, it's kind of similar because you don't have the same resources that you have in the NBA. Absolutely not. Like if you're generally not taking care of your own body in the summertime or throughout the year, you might end up on a team that doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the cold plunge, doesn't have the best strength and conditioning coach. They're not taking care of your body. You're in an area where they don't really have the best of foods. Okay, now you kind of, have meal plan. So if you're not doing all those things that the NBA provides for these guys, it's kind of even harder for overseas, and you're not getting paid as much as the NBA, of course. So I always tell people, a lot of people think that a lot of Hispanic basketball, professional basketball players, they think that like over the waters, it's easy. It's easier than the NBA. I'm like, listen, the talent in the NBA is through the roof. The athleticism, of course. But there's a different mindset with these guys overseas because a lot of them, they're generally, if they don't do their job, their families don't eat. Like this ain't $1 million to $5 million contracts. These are sometimes it's 70K, sometimes it's 100K, and sometimes it's non-guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
So if you're there for 3 weeks, you can get cut, and it's crazy, right? In the NBA, it's not like that. You get paid, right? That's a whole different stratosphere. So it's two different perspectives that I always like to tell people. And especially you can kind of tell which path these players are going to take. Like a lot of the younger kids, I want to encourage them, listen, shoot for the stars, NBA this, NBA that. When I'm speaking to guys who are like 21, kind of trying to figure it out, heading this overseas route, I give them the real spill and let them know like what it is and what do you got to prepare for, So yeah.
What is the least glamorous thing about pro basketball, you think?
The least glamorous thing about pro basketball. That's a good question.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Is there more than one?
That's the least glamorous thing. I would say if I want to say if I want to say NBA perspective, because it's what I hear a lot. I got a lot of NBA friends. They're away from their family a lot, right? They require a lot from you, rightfully so. You're getting paid millions.
Yeah.
So there's a trade-off over there. It's a lot of time from family. And you're not a regular person, right? Especially if you're on the Lakers, you're in LA, you're like almost like a god out there. Like you can't go out to dinner like a regular, like LeBron just can't go out to dinner like a regular Joe Smith. You can't do that. Overseas, sometimes you're put in a situation where the living arrangement is not the best. I was put in a country, I was put in a apartment with me and my wife, was just a growth of crazy mold out of nowhere. I came in there, I was like, this is insane.
Oh, hell.
My wife hated it, I hated it, and when the wife's not happy, it's miserable. It's even worse. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself. And you know what? Great thing about overseas is cheaper. You can live off in a great apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, like literally like $700. Certain places. Yeah, it's really cheap compared to what you're getting paid.
Yeah.
No tax. You pocket it all. But sometimes it's the living arrangements. And you might not be fortunate enough to get a vehicle. So if you're a person that likes to go out here and there on the day off, you might be stuck a little bit. It's certain little things like that. It's nothing crazy because, I've been to a lot of countries so far. So I think for me, it's those are kind of because you can't really control some of the stuff. And it's like, okay, I got to deal with this. How do I adjust and adapt to this? And it's like, yeah.
Fucking mold.
Yeah, it was freaking nuts.
That's nasty.
It is nasty. It's really.
He must got like some different like house codes or, some shit going on over there.
We got up out of there so quick.
Oh,
I couldn't do it. So that's kind of like I always tell guys, prepare for this because it's like, there's stages that sometimes you may start at the bottom and then like you got to go through that. And then, you know, when you get to the EuroLeague status, you get to a certain place, they really take care of you now. They really treat you like, you know, royalty a little bit, but you got to go through something.
Yeah, I think
in order to make
I
it.
mean, I think it, you know, I think a good dose of humility never hurts, right? Like you're
Yeah.
good at what you do. Like I think it's, if you look at it just objectively, it's like, hey, you have a skill set. They're paying you to do a skill set.
Yeah.
It's a job. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's no different than if you know, sell insurance, you have to travel for work or something like that. It's like, well, that's part of the job. Like you're taking the paycheck, like your role has to be, you move away, you do these things at certain times. It's very transparent, I think, right? It's like, hey guys, you want the sun, the moon, and the stars, but at the same time, it's like, this was a job that you agreed to do. This is just part of the role.
Exactly.
And I think what honestly maybe doesn't get talked about enough. Maybe it's just an old guy thing, old man. I'll say, you know, new guy thing. I don't know.
New guy thing.
I don't want to say young guy. You know, we'd like to think we're still young. Or think still young.
Yeah.
I think having just a good partner, like a good spouse, I think that doesn't get talked about enough. Like I know it's different, but like for me, it's like long days, right? I could not fucking function anymore without the support of my fiance right now. Because it's incredible what just peace of mind enables you to do. You know what I mean? I get to go home late nights. Like I get, you know, probably finish around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Here at 6 a.m. till 8 o'clock at night. Go home. It's like food is done. The house is clean. And she worked all day too. House is clean. She takes care of me. She takes care of the home, like just makes anything a home. And like has my lunch ready for the next day.
Yes.
I'm like, that is like a luxury. It's like, that is like, if anyone questions me on this, I think the best investment in your lifetime is not money or anything else. It's a partner that is that person, like 100%. Supportive. Like it does not get talked about 100%. Enough how having a partner that 100%. Just gets it. And that's tough for them too, right? They want to spend time with you. They have, you know, needs and stuff too. They work and not to see you for 12 hours and they still have all these responsibilities. Like that takes a special person. So, you know, shout out to that shit. But
my wife, she takes it a lot of the time. She'll like, because she knows that I'm on a new like diet, and she's like, okay, what do you want? I want to. She's even like suggesting certain things. Like, oh, you want to have chicken this day, you can have salmon, and that just shows that, you know, she wants to see me at my best, right?
Yeah.
And to have somebody to, you know, want to see you at your best, she's gonna be willing to do anything to make sure that you get there. I come home, the house is clean, food is ready, and always encouraging me, always, you know, just. Also, even like in games where I'm playing bad, she's honest, right?
Yeah.
She's my first and only and best critic, right? She doesn't know the game like an expert, but she sees like, listen, you're regularly you're doing this, but today you wasn't really doing this well.
Yeah, she knows you best too.
Exactly.
Like, you know, at a fundamental level, like she's your best friend, your partner.
You need that too, and it always comes from a place of love. And sometimes it could be annoying a little bit. You lose a game, bad game, and then she kind of brings it up. But that's what I want. That's what I told him. Like, yo, this is what I want, because she does that out of love. She wants to see the best version of myself. And, you know, typically that's what makes me go harder at the end of the day, right? Yeah. And she has literally sacrificed her whole life and her family that's like in Scarborough and everything, where she grew up and was born, to come and travel the world with me, right? Even though there's a lot of ups and downs. And it's sometimes when it's down, it's really down.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying?
They see the worst.
Yeah, they see the worst of it.
Yeah, that's fucking the worst.
Exactly.
I think I think they need a shout out for that. Like
Shout out to the wives,
to the wives, the partners, the spouses,
the girlfriends, fiancés, all of them. Yeah.
All y'all keep it humble. Like at the end of the day too, it's as bad as a day you're having. I think, like I said before, the peace of mind for me is like as bad as a day as I'm having. You know what I mean? Could lose everything. I still get to go home, have a roof over my head, and I got someone that says, we'll figure this out. That, as a man,
I've been there. I already know. You ain't got to explain.
As a man, like that it makes you feel capable. You know what I mean? Because I think as a man, you're kind of like, you know, you want to be the guy that does all the things and, you know, provide and all that kind of stuff. And all the things that we feel, you know, maybe it's just intrinsically, but something you feel responsible to do. When you fail or don't succeed in your own mind, you feel like a failure. And the last thing you want to do is disappoint, you know, the person that you admire the most and is your best friend. And then to have them, you know, even on your worst day, be like, it's okay, we'll figure this out. Man,
it's the best feeling. Like that. She's my wife's done that so many times where like I felt like, because that's how I grew up. Like most of us, like, oh, we'll provide, we'll take care of everything. And my wife's like, listen, and I'll hit a drought and something just not working out. with my career or whatever, I don't know, an injury. And she's like, listen, we'll figure it out. Like, this is what you do. Like, you're a problem solver. And then she's feeding that into me. I'm like, shoot, that's who I am. You're right. And that makes me want to go, rather than me sulking in my own mind and being in a dark room by myself and just like being depressed. No, she comes in and she's that light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They hold it together sometimes. Like it's sometimes as weird as it sounds, you've seen someone say, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You can do this.
That's all you need.
That's all. And you're just like, fuck yeah. All right. Damn. Like shit. Like now
you're
like, you want to run through a wall a little bit. You know what I mean? It's
that's
like, we'll figure it out. There's no problem that can't be solved. Like she always says, we'll figure this out. There's no problem that we can't solve. And you're just like, fuck, you're good.
Yes.
Like,
Perfect
damn.
timing. Exactly. It's exactly what we need.
Keep doing what you're doing, honey.
I know
like,
exactly what you feel.
I need that shit. Like, I think that, again, that's just, it's like the back end stuff that no one really talks about. You know what I mean? It's 100%. Like, it sounds, mushy and, grind and all that stuff. It's like, at the end of the day, man, it's okay to be like, my partner got my back on this one. I think it's like, for me, it's incredible. But I want to kind of dive into, kind of more of the performance side of things. How do you think your training or preparation has evolved from college to now pro, and like some of the things you learned along the way, like your top 3 things you might have learned or evolved from?
So I think in college, well, I'll speak from when I was at Oral Roberts. We had a great strength and conditioning coach, and I was in really tip-top shape over there simply because we were doing everything every day. It's kind of like how you guys do it. There's for every day, there's a new thing we're trying to attack. You're not trying to beat us up all the time, but is something strategically planned for us basketball players. And, in college, you're forced to do it, right? It's not like if you don't do it, then you're not here. Like, you're going home. So it was one of those things where like it's a schedule. As a pro, when I first came in, I think I took a dip a little bit. I think when it wasn't as like you're on your own. Well, it wasn't much of a pressure for them to like get us in the weight room. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll go on at my own time. But I wasn't mentally, when I first came as a pro, I wasn't mentally disciplined like that, like I was in college. So when I started to realize, the downside of that, I'm like, I got to pick this up. So it kind of went from up here, down, and back up when I realized I wanted more out of myself. And I think that I was telling one of my teammates, I said, listen, when you're the person who's in the best shape on the court, nobody can stop you. Like, you don't even got to be the best shooter. You don't got to be the best ball handler. If you're in shape, you're just going. You don't even have to think because your body has been through enough stress preparing for, when the lights come on. So, and that's typically what I've been putting myself through coming here a little bit earlier, working with you guys, because I want to be prepared May 18th, which is the first game. And then obviously the home opener, May 29th. So putting my body through all of that, my body be me aching. Like even this morning I woke up, I'm like, nah, I don't got it in me. But I'm like, yes, I do. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I got up and I'm like, just get going because I know that it's necessary.
Yeah. I think, and we tell our guys and a lot of our kids, like, look, being honest, nothing we do in the weight room or anything else is going to directly transfer to your sport. There's nothing we can do. But you build enough physical capability to do what you have to do, right? You take a strong guy, you get him tired, he ain't so strong. Take a fast player, get him tired, you ain't so fast. Right? Take a skilled player, get him tired, you ain't so skilled. You can increase all those capacities. Right? So you don't have to beat, someone's going to have like genetic potential. Like they're freaks, what I mean? Like there's guys that just like, man, they got it. Right? You don't have to beat their genetic potential per se. You just have to outlast it. Sometimes I think that resonates. I hope it resonates. Otherwise I'm just shooting shit up my ass again. But, when sometimes I tell them that, they're like, yeah, you're like, well, yes, there's a purpose. We're not just trying to do things to, get strong. It's like, well, strong is relative. Most people, when they say strong, it's relative to a barbell or something. It's like, I get it. That's something you can quantify. But like I said before, like strong is relative to your opponent. Who you're competing against or who you hope to compete against. That's what, same with fast. Fast is relative to your opponent. Fast, skilled to your opponent. Right? So it's all relative to the environment you're either in or trying to be in. And I think just having the capability to express for greater durations against better people, longer durations of time with greater accuracy, that's all capability. Right? There's no skill transfer from weight room to court or field or rink. It's just capability and capacity to express skills for those durations and everything else I just mentioned, right? And sometimes I think that gets lost. It's not just sets and reps and everything else. Like, there's a purpose, there's a method to the madness, understanding the why and the how, right? So for us, it's like, okay, here's what you do. But, that's just checking the box. I want 3x5 on this. I want, 4 sets of this for the tempo. It's like, okay, you're checking the box, but it's not what we're doing.
Mhm.
It's how we do what we're doing.
Mhm.
That's the biggest difference. It's the intent put behind every repetition, no different than practice, right? No different than anything else. Like I tell my hockey guys, like, hey, you're in the OHL right now, or whatever, you're in AAA. It's like, hey, you have a stick, you skate, puck, net. They're
Mhm.
doing the same thing at pro: skate, puck, net.
Mhm.
But it's not what you guys are doing. It's how they're doing it differently than you. They're doing the exact same things against better people, faster, with greater precision.
Mhm.
Right? I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's the intent behind what we do that's
Yeah.
going to help lead to hopefully the outcomes that we want. It's a byproduct of our process, doing that time and time again, and we just simply minimize our window of failure.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, and I do agree 100% about that. I do think that the muscle endurance, be able to outlast the other opponent, because I've learned and seen, like, basketball, of course, it's a skill game, but there comes to a time, like, it's 40 minutes. It comes to a time, all right, like, you got to get back on defense. You got to be able to guard the person that's in front of you when your legs are tired. And part of the stuff that you're doing in the beginning of the season is preparing for these moments, right? And usually, like Kimball always says, like, he always say that the team that tries the hardest will come out on top. And it's not just trying the hardest in the game, but your body's prepared for that. All that stress that you went through in the beginning, to prepare for these moments when it's like, okay, it's target time, and we've been in target time for another 15 minutes. You're cooked already.
It's another quarter.
Yeah, it's another quarter, and it's like, man, like, we're like at a double overtime, but you're, because of all the things that you've done, you're like outlasting the opponent, because the opponent, they're averaging 23 points a game. They're playing X amount of minutes a game, but you push yourself more than they regularly do. So when you push yourself, pushing yourself, like, it's that endurance, and it's just outlasting your opponent. And then I think that's most teams like us, like, we've been successful in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And we're not done yet.
yeah,
We're not done yet, guys.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're trying to make history.
Exactly.
Even though you already kind of
Exactly.
made history. But, you know what I mean? Like, no, we got to do that shit.
Yeah, we got to do it for sure. First UP team.
We got to do all shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'll finish with like one deep question, then we got some fun rapid fire ones.
Yeah.
When your career is all said and done, what do you hope people will say about you at the end? Damn.
Man, I really hope, man, number one, I really hope that they say I was a great teammate.
Yeah.
One of the things, my college coach, Coach Paul Mills, he's now the head coach at Wichita State. He was my coach at Oral Roberts University. He would always rave about our one teammate. His name is Francis Lassis. He's from Latvia, right? He was the best teammate that we've ever had, right? When he would start or not start, lose his starting position, whatever, get limited minutes, he's the first one that's jumping up. If somebody scores, he's jumping up off the bench, cheering guys on, doing all these other things, encouraging guys, right? Regardless of what he's going through, he's going to bring that energy. And I just want to be remembered as somebody who's a teammate, right? Also, I definitely want organizations to remember me for, or even fans, people who watch me, this guy tried hard. Right. He really tried hard. He wasn't the best shooter. He wasn't the best ball handler. But he tried hard. And because he tried hard, he was able to add to the success of the organization, whichever I was part of. Right. So that's those two things is all I really care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty simple shit,
Yeah.
but fundamental.
Yeah.
All right. Some fun I think they're fun.
Yeah.
Rapid fire questions. Coffee, pre-workout, tea, no caffeine. Which one you going with?
For some reason, I just got caught up on drinking like a lot of ginger tea in the morning. I don't know why.
Ginger tea. That's
Ginger
nice.
tea.
Yeah. A good
Yeah.
stomach settler.
Yeah, I guess I got that ginger tea going, a little bit of honey, and it just gets me going for some weird reason. I don't know why. I never used to do it. I just started doing it this year. I'm not a big coffee guy. I used to take the what is those things called? The BC something.
Oh, like the fuck. I know you're talking about the,
something in the ice pre-workout.
Yeah. Beta Alan, fucking know, C4s or
something like
shit.
that. I used to take that. I
Fuck.
don't take it anymore. I don't know why. I just stopped, but I did used to take it. But yeah, I get going with some ginger tea. Gets me
Man.
going. Yeah.
Ironic. I like English breakfast in the morning. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
but coffee, when I have coffee, like obviously the first coffee like hits different.
Yeah.
But like coffee's like a harsh, like get up and do shit for me.
Yeah.
Tea is almost like a gradual ramp. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You kind of feel different, like a pinky out type
Exactly.
shit, and you're just like, English breakfast, maybe like a biscuit, and you're just like, I feel good about this.
I got an insanely sensitive stomach, so I'm really light when it comes to breakfast. When I'm coming to work out, I think when it comes to like if I'm doing like this morning, we had an intense morning. I can't really put heavy in my stomach, but if we were coming in here first, okay, then I'm having a great breakfast. That's gonna get me really energized and everything like that. So yeah, it kind of switches depending on what I'm doing in the morning.
It's crazy. Like a simple breakfast, honestly, honey is underrated.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I
100%.
think like 1 tablespoon of honey gets essentially enough energy for like 30 minutes of activity. Like literally.
Yeah.
Plus, it's also good for antibiotic and all that kind of
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
And ironically, we're having this conversation with some of our other athletes for hydration because they're always like, Gatorade and everything else like that, which is good.
Yeah.
Has the sugars and sodium. But ironically, as humans, we're actually oversaturated with salt. The biggest thing for cramping is going to be like the potassium. Right. So, fun fact, coconut water. I hate it.
Coconut water.
I don't like coconut water. I fucking hate it. But it's actually good because it has the sugar, has the salt, but it also has a lot of potassium, which tends to be the thing that we're deprived of.
Is that something like you would recommend somebody like drinking like even like during a game or something like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I like coconut. I never knew that.
Coconut water.
I never knew that.
It's the potassium content because most humans are actually oversaturated with salt. Not saying it's not important, but it's like, most hydration drinks include glucose or sugar, sodium being the big one, electrolyte. Not many have too much potassium. It's usually the potassium that leads to that fucking cramping feeling.
I cramp a lot at night. Like as soon as I'm laying in my bed, I'm cramping a lot.
Coconut water. Who knew?
Oh, wow. I didn't.
Yeah, I did. I learned that like a few weeks ago. I was like, shit, this motherfucker's right. And I was like, damn. And I hate coconut water. All of a sudden, now you see all the kids walking with coconut water. It's like,
exactly.
they're on that coconut water shit.
I think I'm going to take a pit stop and get me some coconut water.
Let me see. What's another good one I had here? I had a good one too. If you weren't playing basketball, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't playing basketball, so I grew up in, so my father's a minister and I grew up playing piano and drums in the church. I think I'd be full-time helping him in his church. I know how to play the piano and drums. I think I'd be full-time doing that because, so since I was like 9 or 10 years old, I also do think I would have been doing something like in communications. Like if you know me, you know I love to talk and I can talk really well. I can hold a conversation. I'll just put it like that. I can hold a conversation. So something where I had to do with some type of communications thing. So yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite basketball shoe?
My favorite basketball shoe, okay, I like Nike.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Nike guy.
It's like a brand that gets slept on.
A brand that gets slept on? Adidas.
Really?
For basketball. Not many people are wearing Adidas basketball. There's here and there, but Adidas, especially the Hardens. Like James Harden is coming out with some heat right now.
Damn.
Right? Though his shoes are really nice. I was a big Derrick Rose fan, so his shoes, like it was really nice. I was back in the day. But right now, I like some of the LeBrons. So LeBron's shoe, because LeBron is like his foot's like almost like mine. He has an arch. I'm flat foot, but like we both have wide feet. So the way he creates his soles are extremely soft, right? All that jumping, heavy load coming up and down. It's like clouds, like walking on clouds. So I like some of the LeBrons that he got going on and kind of the structure of the shoe.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who's the funniest teammate you ever had?
The funniest teammate I ever had. Oh my goodness. Man, I've had a lot of funny teammates. Oh my goodness.
I find it's hard to find not funny guys on basketball.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's Kimball.
Kimball?
Yes, I think it's Kimball because since I got here, Kimball is just he's that one person where, man, you could really just be having a bad day. Once he walks in the building, you're not gonna remember what you just went through. Like he's bringing that energy, that light, laughter, and it seems like, he may be having a bad day, but you won't know that because he's bringing that energy. He's laughing, he's making jokes. He's making the guys even this year feel comfortable as a head coach. Like, one of the things they talk about in our first meeting is like, be yourself. He's a head coach, general manager, but he's himself, right? Which makes him likable and makes players want to be coached by him, makes players want to, go hard for him and for the team. And he's just himself, and he's just hilarious. He's just really hilarious. He's funny. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
He cracks me up sometimes
he's funny.
too, man.
He's funny.
Especially having like me, he's like, Trizzy, what's going on? I'm like,
yeah. He's hilarious. He'll always make you feel good.
I could be going on like Frankie.
He's hilarious.
Hey, Trizzy. I was like, all right, we're fine. Exactly. It got a little better, Kimmy.
It got a little better, exactly. He's always gonna crack a smile on somebody. For sure.
All right, well, hey, that's if hey, I had a blast doing this.
Yeah,
I had
mine
a
too.
great time doing this. If people
Yeah.
want to learn more about you, where could
Yeah.
they find you, follow you? What's,
Yeah, my Instagram is Elijah.Lufile. I have Lufile made this also when I post a little bit of content. See some videos when we're traveling, some of the games. I'll be interacting with my teammates, a couple of podcasts here and there, talking with my teammates and just like, upkeep of the season, kind of talking to guys how their overseas season was like, just some like fun content and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
pull up to the home opener May 29th.
Boom.
Yeah.
I like that shit. No, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, like I think people need to see it's fun to see the other side,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
seeing like the
yeah.
real life day-to-day shit. That's always kind of like
Exactly.
cool clips to,
Exactly,
so make sure
exactly.
y'all who are tuning in,
Yeah.
give them a follow and stay in tune with the journey.
Yeah.
Again, I'll recap with this, folks. Okay, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on YouTube. Be a subscriber, be in the cool kid community, right? Like, follow, share, subscribe, and always join us for our weekly rants and raves. And who knows, sometimes revelations, maybe a funny joke once in a while. It's hard to say. I think I'm a funny guy, but that's open to interpretation. At least I can make myself laugh on occasion. So big thank you to Eli for coming out. And this Performance Matters podcast on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. We'll see you all next time.